Good morning and welcome to my channel, The Fruitcake Astrologer, where I will give you an astrologer's take on current events and people in the news. So today's reading is a Harari astrology reading about the Biden scandal. The New York Post has broken a couple stories about Hunter Biden's laptop being found and there being extremely incriminating stuff on that laptop. Now, I'm wondering what's going to happen. So if you enjoy these readings, I hope you will like, share, and subscribe. And also, you can also find me on these other social media platforms. Now, after sitting back and thinking about this, it really struck me as a ninth house question. Why do I say that? Because this is a political scandal. Politics, ninth house. Okay, the FBI has another black mark, yet another one. You know, they've had Hunter's laptop and haven't done anything. I mean, it feels like the FBI must have a room full of things like Weiner's laptop disappeared. We're still waiting on Epstein. I mean, there's all sorts of things that seem to go in to the bowels of the FBI, never to be seen again, and no indictments. So to me, this is another black mark on the FBI, Department of Justice, ninth house, and Twitter and Facebook, both internet publishing companies, ninth house, also are having some pretty good black marks for banning the distribution of the New York Post articles, links to them, and shutting down locking the accounts of Biden's opponents. So they're getting a black mark. Now, of course, the New York Post is it's the fourth largest newspaper in the country. So I'm getting a ninth house read, and I'm thinking we need to pay extra attention to the ninth house, which is ruled by Gemini and Mercury. Okay, now the sign of Libra rises, the sign of legal issues, and Venus is in the 12th house. And that to me is an ominous indication that there will be prison sentences involved with this. Someone will go to jail. The rising sign describes the event. Venus trining Uranus. Uranus, of course, rules electronics. In the 8th house of corruption, retrograde in the money sign of Taurus. That Venus is disposited by Virgo, which is also ruled by Gemini. Mercury is in the 2nd house of money, retrograde in the sign of corruption. Ooh, it really looks to me like prison sentences are on the horizon, and women or woman, Venus, I get a symbol, are probably going to be involved in these jail sentences. Now, it is now the morning of October 17th, and it's coming out that there may have been underage stuff, potentially trafficking. This stuff is just crazy, crazy stuff. Now, for those of you who remember the pedophile priest scandal, I was raised Catholic, and that really rocked a lot of people's boats because up till that point, priests were considered good guys. I mean, it was a long-term institution, and a lot of people pushed back and resisted, anyone attacking the Catholic Church because it was so entrenched. And this feels like it to me because half of the country are Biden supporters. So this is a tough pill to swallow. In a Harari reading, you follow the moon, and the moon's final aspect is the outcome. So the first aspect the moon is going to make is a square to Jupiter. Like I said, big emotions, big upset, squares, okay? Then followed by a square to Mars. Now you'll notice that retrograde Mars squares that triple conjunction of Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in the 4th house of the homeland, the family. People are going to be angry. Of course, the 4th house natural ruler is the moon. The people, feelings. People are going to be really upset. People are going to be really angry. Then it goes on and makes its only positive aspect, which is a trine to the North Node in the 9th house of Justice. So I think This implies to me this is fate. This was meant to be. And I believe that justice, we will get some justice. I'm going to take that to mean we will get some justice. Then it goes on to square Pluto, conjunct the sun, and the moon's final aspect is a square to Saturn. So basically the moon is going to make a cardinal T-square, the most unstable aspect in astrology. Think of a table with 3 legs. Okay, a T-square. You know, guys, batten down the hatches. This is just going to get worse and worse and worse. And whenever I see Saturn, I know there's going to be accountability. Okay, Saturn's the severe school teacher that comes to rap us on the knuckles when we put our toes out of line. So this says to me, there will be accountability. And potentially, I believe there will be jail sentences. Okay, at minimum over corruption. Mercury in the 2nd house of money in Scorpio retrograde. Uranus, Venus trining Uranus. This says to me that money will be involved and potentially women. Okay, that there will be jail sentences. And notice also that the second to last aspect is the moon conjunct the sun. And the sun rules the 11th house of legislators, the government, and large corporations. So this says to me that large corporations, aka, Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc., are also going to have their feet held to the fire, are going to have some accountability in this, as well as politicians, 11th house, and people in power. Why do I say that? Because Saturn is a natural ruler of the 10th house of leadership, and it's conjunct Pluto. Powerful leaders. Anger at powerful leaders. So I think this is all just beginning. Batten down the hatches, guys. This is going to get really, really ugly and really yuck. So, bummer. If they are corrupt, from my personal perspective, they need to be held accountable. I mean, come on. Anyway, if you enjoy these readings, I hope you will like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for listening.